What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody. Look, it's time to put this bad boy to bed. Falcon Brave New World. It's about ran out of time. All right, we're at the end of the road for this thing, and this thing is not going to make any money. It is going to lose a shit ton of money for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Look at this right here. $371 million worldwide. That's it. That's where it's at right now. And look, we just had this Mickey 17 movie come out, so that's bumped it back. Novocaine is coming up this coming weekend, all right? So that's going to bump it back even more, maybe to third or fourth place, who knows? So yeah, this movie is about done making money, and you know, $371 million. Look, we already know that the budget for this thing is probably closer to this number of 371. It's probably around 350 or something like that. That's how much it cost them to make this turd of a movie, you know? But see, look, we tried to tell these folks, nobody checking for Falcon like that, especially trying to call him Captain America. Nobody's checking for Falcon like that. Nobody likes these characters. The show was terrible. And then you're doing this like a pseudo sequel to The Incredible Hulk, which came back in 2008. I mean, this is just a dumb idea all the way around. And on top of the fact is, y'all reshot this thing to death, okay? From World of Real, remember we was talking about this? Marvel had more reshoots for this thing than any other movie I've ever heard of. Multiple failed test screenings. Nobody was rocking with this. Nobody liked this movie. So at the end of the day, and listen, all the shills coming out and saying that this thing costs $180 million. I think it says it in here somewhere. Yeah, 3 rounds of reshoots. This is the 3rd round of reshoots on Brave New World. And this was in November when this article was written. 3 rounds of reshoots. You think that was all done for $180 million? You smoking. You smoking crack and you need to stop. All right? If you really believe that. And look, the shills don't even really believe it. The shills know what's up. They're just doing what they're supposed to do. Hey, Disney, give me some money and I'll make it like, oh, it's only $180 million. And we'll start plastering that nonsense all over the place until people ultimately believe it. Yeah, like I said, if you believe it, you smoking crack. But look, comic book movie, they calling it out. Captain America Brave New World will end its global box office run among the MCU's lowest grossing movies. So it's going to be bottom of the barrel for the MCU. But yet and still, the shills are still trying to shill, all right? They're still trying to cape and cope, right? Look at this thing. Anthony Mackie's Captain America just pushed the franchise past a major milestone. I wonder what that milestone is. Well, let's check out this next one right here. Brave New World box office crosses milestone for Captain America movies, even though it still might not break even. So yeah, it managed to break a milestone, an accomplishment, as the Marvel movie fails to impress in theaters. If you're wondering what that accomplishment is, Brave New World global box office is at $370.8 million. Now it's risen up since then, now at 371, of which 176 million of that coming from the US. This means the MCU sequel just edged out the first Captain America film from 2011, which took in 370.6 million worldwide. They really trying that, man. They are really trying to say, hey, congratulations, you passed Captain America, the first Avenger. A movie that came out 14 years ago when things were much different in the box office. But this is what they're trying to do. Look, everybody's sitting out here talking it. Brave New World won't be the lowest grossing Captain America movie. It finally passes the first Avenger. Do y'all see the cope going on here? Do you see these clowns trying to cope? Like the people can't put 2 and 2 together and say, wait a minute, hold up, time out. Hey, wait, time out. You're talking about a movie that was 14 years ago. And in the early stages of the MCU, before the MCU really got going and was popping like that, it was still was that like the 3rd movie, right? This is what you guys are trying to, the 4th movie in the MCU. This is what you guys are trying to compare this thing to? It's absolutely ridiculous. Screen Rant said the same thing. Captain America Brave New World's box office officially passes Chris Evans' first MCU movie entire gross in just 4 weeks. So it's like, oh, okay, in 4 weeks we did this. And it's like, you got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. But this is where the shills are. They love the copium, man. They are high off the copium. Let's go ahead and break it down as we should to show you guys how this movie really stacks up with the other Captain America films. All right, so the numbers you're seeing here are the box office totals, domestic box office totals for each Captain America movie, all right? So First Avenger, $176 million. Winter Soldier, $269 million. Civil War, $408 million. And then $176 for Brave New World, all right? Now, the number on the right is the number of tickets that were sold to get to that number. And this is how I derived it. I derived it by using this chart on the numbers. All right. And you can go and look this up yourself. The numbers, they basically give you the average ticket price for every year, you know, going back, I think, to like 95 or something. Yeah, 1995. So you can see right here that if you go to when Captain America, the first Avenger came out, $7.93. That was the average ticket price. That was the average ticket price as compared to $11.31, which is the average ticket price for 2025. And so once again, when you look at that and you do the numbers and the math, you know, you can see the difference. 22 million tickets sold for the first Avenger, and then 15 million tickets sold for Brave New World. And so there's really no comparing the two. Like, tickets cost much less back then. So therefore, the box office was going to be smaller. If they only sold like 15 million tickets, the 176 that First Avengers got, it would be a lot lower. You know, so like, guys, can we just be honest about what it is that's happening here? Can the Shills just say, you know what? All right, man, this movie didn't do that well. Quit trying to say, oh, it passed the First Avengers. Like, come on, man. This is like, that was like film 4 in the MCU compared to film 35. Like, come on, there's no comparing the two. The better comparison for Captain America Brave New World would be something more contemporary, like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. It's not going to hit Ant-Man and the Wasp numbers. It's not even going to hit, it's not going to hit Civil War. Look at the difference right here. Like, that's a real difference that you can measure out. The last Captain America movie, quote unquote Captain America, to the current Captain America movie. Yeah, you're talking about a difference of 32 million tickets sold. I mean, there's no comparison. Yeah, this is the movie that y'all should be comparing it to, okay? You should be comparing it to Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is the more recent movie that came out pretty much during the same time frame as Captain America Brave New World. This is what you should be comparing it to, and it's not even close. It's $100 million away from this total. And this movie lost money. So, I mean, come on, man. Look, Shills, all right? Knock it off, all right? Knock all of this stuff off, trying to compare it to the first Avenger, a movie that came out 14 years ago. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous comparison. All of this stuff got to stop. Oh, it just pushed the franchise past the May. Knock it off. There's no major milestones accomplished here unless you're beating like all of these other films. There's nothing else going on. There's no other milestones. This is silly, man. This is cope on steroids. Trying to say, oh, you know, First Avenger, it beat First Avenger. Stupid. I've never seen coping like this. You know, they have been pushing hard, changing the budget, you know, doing everything in their power to try to pull a win for this movie. There's no wins here. This thing is lost. It's L after L after L. There is no winning with this movie. Let it go. Call it a failure and move on. Thunderbolts is coming up. Might be good. Call this thing a failure and just move on. That's what they need to do instead of trying to write this nonsense. You know, oh, just 4 weeks. Like, get out of here, man. This is embarrassing. I feel secondhand embarrassment just reading these headlines. You guys gotta be kidding me. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this again, man. It's a flop. It's a failure. Just call a spade, for God's sakes. Call balls and strikes, like we like to say, all right? Compare it to Ant-Man. You know Ant-Man was a failure, and Captain America is also a failure. If Ant-Man was a failure, if this movie was a failure, at $476 million, yeah, 371, this is a giant failure. All right, just call them like we see them, all right? That's what I try to do. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.